All right, to record a video, you're going to have to press the record button here, this arrow. Yours might look slightly different, but in order to do a screen recording, you are going to have to press these 6 little dots here, and then press record screen. And then you can press start. You guys will only have one screen, and it'll give you a countdown. And once it does that countdown, all right, so again, it's recording your screen right now. It just tells you to come back to this tab if you want to pause or record. So then you would go to your Desmos graphing calculator slide that you have here. And this is how you'd start your presentation. Notice on the rubric it says you want to keep your parent graph up the entire time. So I am doing y equals x squared. Yours is obviously going to be different. I'm just doing our basic one we did last chapter. So I'm going to do a mock presentation for you starting right now. All right, the parent equation I looked at was y equals x squared, and I was able to move it around different directions. The first way I was able to move it was to move it to the right. And the way I was able to move it to the right, I was able to move it to the right by putting a positive 4 into the h function, into the h parameter. Okay, and that's in the parentheses with the square. It looks negative, but because the equation is x minus h, I actually plugged a positive 4 in, and it looks negative. And if you notice, my vertex is now moved to the right 4. Notice how I'm going to turn this equation off now and turn it back on. So now I'll turn the next one on. To move it to the graph left, I put a negative value in for the h. In this case, I plugged a negative 4 in for the h, and now my parabola was moved 4 units to the left. I was able to move it up 3 by putting a 3 into the k value, and now notice my vertex is moved up 3 units. I was able to move the parabola down 3 by putting a negative in for the k. And then I was able to flip my parabola by putting a negative in for the a in the front, and the a goes in the front. There it is flipped. I was able to vertically compress my parabola by putting a 1/2 or any number between 0 and 1 in front of the x squared in for the a. Notice how this is like pushed down. It's wider than the normal. It's closer to the x-axis. I was able to vertically stretch my parabola by putting something greater than 1 in for the a value. And notice how in this case it is growing faster than the normal parabola. And then this is our graphing equation, y equals a parenthesis x minus h squared plus k. And this interactive slider shows what the effects of each of my parameters, a, h, and k are. So my h, if my h is positive, it moves it to the right. If my h is negative, it moves it to the left. My k can move the graph up and down. So if my k is positive, it moves it up. If my k is negative, it will move my parabola down. And then my a can do one of 3 things. If my a is -1 or any negative, it will flip it. If my a is greater than 1, it will vertically stretch it. If my a is between 0 and 1, such as 0.5, it will make it wider or vertically compressed. Now I can do these also with the flip. So if my a is between 0 and -1, it will be flipped and vertically compressed. And if my a is less than -1, it would be flipped and vertically stretched. And that's our parabola.